Well, in this conversation, I'm going to address one of these issues that I am asked almost every seminar out of the 100 seminars I present each year in the United States and worldwide. Almost every seminar, someone comes up at a break and asks me, what's wrong with my team? Why don't they perform better? And the answer is, there's nothing wrong with your team. It's what they haven't learned yet that is making you wonder if you have the right team members. Most team members, most staff members, we firmly believe at Levin Group have a great attitude and great work ethic. Every year we have 1,200 doctors coming through our programs, tens of thousands of staff, and I have to tell you, they're pretty impressive and they're pretty dedicated. What's missing is a leadership component by us as doctors. I'm a general dentist, I am one of you, and the bottom line is that we are so busy doing the dentistry and we got no business knowledge in dental school, no leadership training in dental school, that of course we end up saying, what's wrong with my team? We want to hire people today that know exactly what to do, can take care of it, and let us do our dentistry. Unfortunately, that's a myth, not a reality. When people say to me, where do I get great team members? My answer is you don't, you build them. So what's wrong with your team? What's wrong with your team is that they don't have the protocols and the targets and the systems to do what they're supposed to do. When we build practices with clients at Levin Group, we want the entire office to be run by team members. And we can't just train them. If you train team members and then you have turnover, which you will over the years, you will inevitably end up with problems because the new people come in and they're not trained and we don't have the time. And think about how complicated dentistry has become. You know, the assistant of 25 years ago did not have to know nearly, she had to know 1/10 of what a dental assistant needs to know today. The front desk person of 25 years ago didn't deal with the same levels of insurance, the same amount of software. It's a complicated era today, and it's only going to get more complicated. So stop training your team and start putting in systems. What we have found at Levin Group with our consultants and our clients is that when we put in the systems and we teach the systems to the team, they become trained. But if you merely train the team, they kind of get it, they miss steps, they don't fully understand it, and they do an okay job but not a great job. One of our targets is for the doctor to be spending 98% of his or her time directly involved in patient care. Right now, you're probably at about 78%. If we get the team trained to literally run day-to-day operations, the way any good business does, then the doctor will spend more time with patients, production goes up, referrals go up, relationships are better, customer service satisfaction is higher, and your team has a much better experience and more fun because they have more responsibility. I was talking to one of our clients recently from Ohio, and he said that before he had put his systems in, his team relied on him. He was asked 1,000,000 questions a day. They were afraid to make decisions, and he was micromanaging. He said it was his fault. He was micromanaging the team. He wanted them to check this with him and check that and check the other. He said, you know, now when with the systems in, he actually becomes annoyed when people ask him any operational questions. The team has learned to make decisions. They have the systems. They make good decisions. They use value creation scripting to enhance patient relationships, and it's been just an amazing transformation. So, and that practice, by the way, because I was talking to this doctor yesterday, grew 27% in a tough economic year in a state of Ohio is having, you know, some economic challenges in their area. The difference is he empowered his team and gave them the systems. He didn't just try to train them. He didn't give them a bunch of information. He put the systems in place with them. They learned the systems. Systems are documented step-by-step protocols, and the team got it. They got excited. They became empowered, and now they run that office. He walks in the morning. He attends the 10-minute, 15-point agenda morning meeting. He does dentistry all day. He leaves at the end of the day. Often he's the first one to leave. There's an old adage that if you want to be a good leader, be the first one there and the last one to leave. That is ridiculous, okay? If you want to be a good leader, do your job. Do the job that only you can do. Doctors are the only ones that can do the dentistry, at least within the legal aspects of being doctors. And that's where doctors can be the best leaders. Do what only you can do. Be a great dentist. Let your team run the day-to-day operations. Let the front desk people communicate with the clinical people. Let the clinical people communicate with the front desk people. If there's a scheduling change, the doctor doesn't need to know. Now, a lot of you are saying, oh, I've got to know. I need to know. Tell me right away. And then you wonder why you have stress and why you're only spending 78% of your time in direct patient care. And then your team becomes trained to come to you all the time. They're afraid not to because they might get into trouble, versus encouraging your team to follow the systems. The systems work. The systems should be adapted to reach the next level. They should be adapted for the current times. They should be changed regularly as necessary as the environment and the economy changes. But your team needs to be the operational force of the practice. Can you imagine the CEO of a Fortune 500 company showing up in one of their factories in Asia and starting to do work because he decided that he wanted to know what was going on? That doesn't happen. There are people who are responsible for these areas. They're accountable, and that's what your team can become. You will be in shock. You will be amazed. You will be uncomfortable that they're doing such a good job that all you need to do now is be a dentist, the thing we all came into dentistry because we love to do. So the key is get your systems in place. Stop training your team and start working on your systems.